We're going to do something a little different tonight. Just consumed a certain type of lettuce. Gonna eat a cookie. We're gonna build a world. We're just gonna build a world. We're just gonna hang out. And we're gonna build a world together. Oh yeah. Most definitely. So, this is Incarnate. It's a map making tool website, and it's quite amazing. You can kind of just paint, create shores, all that sort of nonsense. You can do, you can do all sorts of different islands, figures. You can do just about anything you set your mind to. And this is a little project I've been wanting to play with for some time now, but never really found the inspiration to do it until today. So that's what we're going to do today. What I want to do is just kind of create the landmass itself. Okay. And from there, if enough people kind of interact with it, I want people to kind of like throw in ideas as to like different, where different civilizations might pop up, things like that, what those civilizations might be off the top of their heads. And we can do almost a series of videos in which I can, it's almost like an interactive world building, like we're basically building the world and a history and kind of creating almost like a D&D setting or whatever kind of role-playing game setting if you ever wanted to, run a campaign setting. And I think this is a nice way for, folks who might not have the confidence to just build a whole world from scratch. This can be like a collaborative effort in which, we can all work together to build something from scratch. So yeah, let's get to it. Giant sea, nothing around it. I'm going to go for a relatively smaller brush, probably, let's see, 40 I think will work to get started. The shape of the world, let's just play around. We'll just do kind of, we can do like a rough outline, I think, and fill it in from there. I know that me as a map maker, I have a tendency to just go for one giant like Pangea style kind of continent. Personally, I love those kind of supercontinent kind of feelings. But, for me, this is also kind of like a little challenge for me to kind of break away from that sort of style. Actually kind of like that a little bit. Also, for all those people out there who, demand like a North Pole, South Pole kind of like deal to make things more like geographically correct, I say boo on that for the most part, because it's a fantasy world. Like I get like a natural ecology or whatever, or, like there's certain ways shit works, but yeah, it's a fantasy world, and I'm going to make it a fantasy world. It doesn't need to be North and South Pole necessarily. Maybe I want like the center of the realm to be just like a giant frosty zone, and then like the outliers are kind of hot. Who knows? Let's see, we'll do a bunch of smaller little. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been struggling a little bit lately with just kind of trying to really figure out what it is I want to do, like for money. I've had the had the greatest partner I could ever ask for, in allowing me time to really just kind of like find myself and kind of like revisit like my creative outlets and like do things that I am passionate about. And, it's been a blessing because, I mean, prior I was so burnt out, just from life. Work had been kind of abysmal. I just turned 26 a couple days ago now, 3 days ago. And, it was nice to kind of like ring that in without having, I don't want to say like no responsibilities. Like you still need to pay your bills. You still need to show up as a partner and just as a person when it comes to that kind of thing. But, not having to dread going to work, and having to deal with the nonsense of having, whoever it is you'd be working for stressing you out with whatever their bullshit timeline kind of things are, whatever, idiotic things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. For me, I've spent the last 10 years devoting myself to those kinds of people, and it just burnt me out. It absolutely burnt me out to the point where I was just so unhappy with where I was, and it got to the point where I just had no energy to live my life and have fun. And it started to put a strain on my relationship to a certain extent. Nothing, too stressful, but at the same time, my partner noticed that I was like dying, basically. I was on autopilot. I was not living. I was just existing, going through my day-to-day motions. And, she was the one that had brought it up to me. She was like, look, we need to make a change because you are just not okay. And it was a lot to, it's hard after having lived a certain way for, a decade, and to just come to terms with the fact that like the way I was going was just self-destructive. And, shifting over to where I am now with, not working. I haven't worked since, I want to say February. Switching over and trying to like come to terms with the fact that like, okay, like it's okay that I'm doing this for myself. It's okay to kind of take this time for myself. It was hard. It was very difficult to just not be overwhelmed with guilt and feeling like I was worthless. For a long time, my worth was based off of that need to survive financially. And it's just such a weird, freeing feeling to no longer feel like that is my only purpose in life. I've now had this time to really, make some videos here and there and have fun with that and just kind of explore that curiosity within me. And, I don't ever want to stop doing that. But at the same time, I want to, continue pursuing. I want to create things. I love creating art in whatever kind of medium that might be. But, it's also starting to reach that point in time where it's like, okay, you've had this time to kind of start thinking and doing these creative things. Now it's time to look at it and really think about, what are you going to do? Unless like, because I'm not making videos every single day or anything like that. And, and I doubt that will ever really be the case, as much as I love, Steve the Alchemist and Steve and Derek, my baby boys. That's just more of like a fun passion kind of project, little deal, just playing games that I like to play, and seeing even like 7 views on a video, is just so heartwarming to see, from friends, and then, getting like responses from my friends on the videos, or like people, or, my friends messaging me and being like, hey, this, or like, I love this in this episode, or like, dude, you gotta do whatever. And, it just makes me happy because it shows that people, my friends, they really are supportive, and truly like supportive to the point where like they actually are watching these silly little videos that I'm making, just, not only for them, but like for myself. It really does make me so happy to know that like at least some people are getting something, entertainment out of it. So, that's really all I kind of did. Like that's what I did all that for. That was like really my only real goal, was to do that, for myself and for my friends. So yeah, it's nice having had that experience. But now it's starting to reach that point of like, okay, now what do I really want to do, creatively speaking? I still don't quite know yet, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic, feeling good about life on a whole. But yeah, I just don't know yet, and I can't wait to see what it is. Now, more importantly, I need to take a bite of cookie, and I think I actually really like this like broken kind of world deal. 3 kind of relatively similar sized continents, and then just like this massive like shattered archipelago kind of deal. Kind of like it. So let me eat a cookie, let me eat some of this, and we're also just going to start doing the next phase here. We're going to start putting in some texture. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, I'm going to mute my mic because I'm a filthy animal and I eat loud. All right. Thinking of doing like a nice deep kind of like jungly area in here, in this more shattered part of the world. Also, I am by no means like an artist, so apologies to all of you who have actual like talent out there. This is This is just me kind of messing around with the toolbox at hand like a little fool. All right. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Nice little patch of dark green in there. And then I think what I would like to do here let's see. These kind of like grayish islands. Kind of like frozen almost. Or maybe it's not, maybe not necessarily like snow, but almost like ash. Kind of like almost a wasteland kind of feeling to them on all these little shattered up to about here. Do like a little bit of green on some of them, where nature is slowly starting to, you know, some plant life is slowly starting to kind of trickle back in on some parts. Maybe just these outer, or these inner archipelagos. And then the further out you go, the more the waste is just kind of still in full kind of control. And with that in mind, we'll just kind of, we'll remove that from these guys. Let this one just kind of be like an extra worked one. Yeah. I'm making a lot of changes. I know. All right, kind of like that. Snow. Maybe we'll say like this whole section right here. It's all kind of snowy. We'll say this whole part right here is all kind of snowed out. Whoa, not size, opacity. There we go. Like a nice green powdered donut. Delicious. We'll just do full on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Just kind of a somewhat gradual fade there. And then, let's see. Like a large deserty kind of. Yeah. Okay. Just kind of like a large barren kind of. Maybe not barren. Maybe we'll do like a little lush desert in there. A little bit of that green in. All right. Oh, yeah. All that kind of green near the inside. Yeah, I like that. Pretty darn good with that. Okay. Now, let's some mountains in all this nonsense, I think. This will determine just kind of like how big or small this world is. I think that's a decent enough size. And I actually kind of like the way that's hooked there. So let's see, mountains. Hook to about there. Maybe they'll even vein. Up until that point, that's kind of what keeps this snow lands sort of trapped. The desert kind of region. We'll do more hills, less so mountains. Looks good up there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Baby. Couple hills there. Yeah. Some jungle. Kind of mountains dotted in there. And then maybe... let's see, spine. Ooh, that does not look good. I'll say no. Kind of a small mountain range right here. I'm kind of okay with. Yeah. Not too many mountains needed. Now, little palm tree kind of forest up in here. Oh, Lord. Let's be a little bigger on those trees. Nice little palm, jungled islands, lush islands. Okay. That about there. And we'll do bop, 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 bop. Yeah. A lot of just kind of like jungly kind of feeling is what I'm thinking there. Big ass crater. About that. That's a little more manageable. Just do a bunch of... No one will ever see that. There we go. No sea crater. Come on. Yeah, just some craters on the archipelagos, I think. And then put a nice... Ah, the whales. No, what? Where'd you get that? Go back. Get back in there. Give me the whale. Oh yeah, big whale. All the way out there. I did want to find... Yeah, we'll do some like dead trees out in the desert. Sparse, just kind of like dead trees out there, and then maybe a couple like more wintry trees near this body of water. Hide that kind of lake right there. Okay. Little patch of forest there. Maybe just like some like sparse forest patches on this guy. Whoa, 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 too many, too many. Yeah. All right. And then just one right there. Perfect. Let's see. Oh, that kind of... No. If we're going to do a volcano, it's going to be like a nice tropical... The classic tropical volcano. But it won't be there. How about there? No, absolutely not. Maybe kind of like there in the center. Probably do a little bit of land around it. Oh no, that's just destroying land. Yeah. And maybe we'll just kind of get rid of this guy. That's a little too empty. Just a couple. No, I'm not liking it. No, I'm not liking it. Whoop-ch. Yeah, that works. I can work with that. I think I want to add a couple more hills over here. Touch smaller if we can. Yeah. Nope. That looks hideous. Just like piles of just like ash, kind of. Almost like, which expansion is it from Skyrim when they go to, they go back to Morrowind kind of lands? Okay. I think I'm actually kind of happy with that to start. Couple of clouds. Ah, look at the pretty clouds. And maybe some down here. You drift about the clouds. Ah, the clouds. So pretty. Okay, so what I'd like to do is to Ooh, hold on. Just saw the word jagged rocks. That looks kind of funky. No. Die. Sons of bitches better start turning around the correct way. Oh, you bastards. Yeah, sure. Just some, like, teeth on this continent, on the desert continent. So, hold on. See, I could spend hours in this freaking tool. Just like one little... Yeah. There we go. Couple bodies of water on there. So this is just going to be the broken continents of this world. And if you'd like, just like take a screenshot on your phone of this world right here. Feel free to take a screenshot of the whole shebang on this. And if you want, just like mark like a, you can do any kind of marking for where it is that you want to like talk about. And, you know, if you want like a certain area to look, you know, if you want to add like a civilization, like on that coordinate on an X kind of marks the spot sort of deal. And then just kind of send me like what your idea is for what kind of, you know, society of like, of like creatures or people, or like you can create, like even if you wanted to do like a dragon or something that made a lair in a certain spot, or if you wanted to make like a village of like elves or dwarves or goblins or whatever, you know, and just kind of like what their kind of personalities are and like how they, you know, how they are and how they interact with the world. Just send it to me. Like send little markings of what you have in mind. And if, you know, even if 2 or 3 people do this, you know, next video, what I can do is I'll insert, you know, I can go through and I can insert, even if it's just like random little icon, you know, put down like a marker for like a certain area, you know, and just kind of like, and I'll be able to, like put down the little like notes and things like that to go through as far as like what that area is and what it means. I'd like it to be a kind of like persistent world sort of deal in which we start out in like, you know, like the tribal kind of like age for all of these kind of things across the globe. And if we really wanted to go like just super in depth and like slowly build out these civilizations, we can roll like D100s or whatever, depending on like what it is you'd like those societies to like pursue or do. And then, you know, I'll also be coming in with ideas of my own as far as, you know, like how to populate this particular world. So, yeah, if you guys are into that idea, I'd love for this to be like kind of a collaborative, creative project for folks and kind of turn it into a, you know, a D&D world that you could just grab and do whatever you want. You could change things up or you can run it however it is we want to set it up and, you know, just kind of create something together, create some art together. I love you guys so much. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And, you know, I'll probably give it maybe like a couple of days, depending on how long it takes for folks to watch this video or, you know, to respond or whatever. And hopefully we can, you know, have a second episode with a abundant world already. All right, you guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Love ya. Bye.